Hi, welcome to the Fight-Age channel. It seems that the prayers of Alexander Usyk were answered and he will get the fight he wants. Briton Anthony Joshua agreed to a fight with the Ukrainian after his mega fight with Tyson Fury broke down. Officially, the meeting of the Ukrainian and the Englishman has not yet been announced, but there is already a preliminary date, August 2021. The fight will take place in London, but it is still unclear whether it will be at Wembley or Tottenham Stadium. In any case, it will be a mega event, especially for Usyk. The most obvious fight here is the British derby between Fury and Joshua. Everything was already ready, but Deontay Wilder managed to get the right to a third fight with Tyson Fury through the court. And now this fight should take place on July 24 in Las Vegas. At the same time, there was the news that Anthony Joshua will fight with Alexander Usyk in August. If this fight takes place, then there is a chance for Usyk here for an absolutely sky-high status in professional boxing. Usyk became an Olympic champion at the same Olympics as Joshua in 2012, although one weight lower. And then, in the same weight category, he managed to collect all the belts and become the absolute champion in professionals. Having done this, Usyk rose to a heavyweight, coped with several injuries, and held 2 more fights. If Usyk defeats Joshua, he will take 3 belts in the heavyweight division. If after Joshua he defeats the winner in the Wilder-Fury pair, he will become the absolute heavyweight champion. In the 21st century, 4 people managed to collect 4 belts, except for the Usyk, but no one could do it in 2 weight classes. Friends, before starting to watch this video, I would like to ask you to subscribe to my channel. If you really enjoy the content, then please subscribe to the channel and keep watching the videos. If you are subscribed, then you receive notifications about the release of new videos. You do not even have to look for anything personally. I really want to get 10,000 subscribers on my channel. I am trying very hard and I need your support. Your likes, comments, reposts to social networks. Thanks to everyone who subscribes to my channel. You are my support. Thank you so much. Despite the huge merits and the whole room of awards of Usyk in the first heavyweight, he is still perceived weakly in the weights. There are several reasons for this origin: weak promotion in the States and England, a dim style, especially in this weight. In addition, Usyk has not yet convinced in the weights. He won the average Witherspoon and the Old Chisora, experiencing problems in both fights. At the same time, Usyk's skills and skill remain super high, which makes him a very undesirable opponent for champions. The chance of losing is big, and selling the fight will still be worse than fights even with Whyte and Parker or Chisora, who have a powerful fan base in England. Not to mention the fight with Wilder. It doesn't matter whether he has a belt or no. Deontay with his cannot shoot is a welcome quest everywhere. Why Usyk can lose for the first time in his career? Here you need to make a few reservations. First of all, this fight should take place in principle. Secondly, in the heavyweight division, Usyk has held 2 fights so far, and in none of them did he perform outrageously. In his native weight class, Alexander had an outstanding skill, footwork, speed and endurance, but he was like to be criticized for a lack of a knockout blow. It is believed that this disadvantage will be even more noticeable in the heavyweights. Third, modern heavyweights are larger than their predecessors. Fourth, English and German refereeing in boxing is often demonized, and the recent fights of Povetkin and Usyk in Britain or against the British show that there is a reason for this. Povetkin's team was not very happy with Dillian Whyte's gloves. Usyk had the same claim. The stuffing in Derek Chisora's gloves was shifted so that the boxer could hit with an almost unprotected fist. At the same time, a ring of the minimum size was chosen, and the ropes, as Usyk himself says, are not stretched properly. Provided that Anthony Joshua, the most important boxer for a British promoter Eddie Hearn, it will be very difficult to defeat Usyk. Usyk for Joshua is an option from the series. Well, at least let's go with him. The British team did not want this fight to the last. They had to agree to it because first the fight with Fury broke down, and then the WBO officially sanctioned Anthony's fight with the Ukrainian. As you know, Usyk is a mandatory contender for Joshua's title, so you need to either fight with him or give up the belt. Reward for patience. The only people who are now in a state of delight are Usyk himself and his manager Alexander Krasyuk. They have been patiently waiting for an opportunity to contact Joshua, and now it seems that they will be rewarded. They continued to wait, even when it was possible not to do it. They were offered a duel with the English prospect Joe Joyce 2 months ago, but they decided not to waste time on it. And you guessed it, Joshua was eventually released, despite the fact that the fight has not yet been officially announced. Now this fight looks absolutely inevitable. This is already a fait accompli, says the person on whom everything depends, promoter Eddie Hearn, head of Matchroom Boxing. And he thinks it will be hard for Joshua. Joshua thinks that Usyk is a good fight. He doesn't look incredible in the weights, but he will most likely get better when he gets used to the weight and division. This is a really difficult and dangerous duel. I think Joshua will be merciless in this fight. He likes to learn and fight with good boxers. Anthony won't make fun of Usyk's boxing. He's going to go out and beat him. Hearn told ESPN. He is terrible. By the way, about go out and beat. Now it is difficult to find a person who will think that it is Usyk who will be the favorite in the fight with Joshua. All the boxers who have been asked about this so far agree that it will be a hell of a difficult evening for Alexander, for 2 reasons. He is too small for a heavyweight, and his boxing in this weight does not have enough power. What's worked with guys like Krzysztof Glowacki, Tony Bellew and even Murat Gassiev didn't really work against little Derek Chisora. What can we say about giants like Joshua? Dillian Whyte, who recently knocked out Povetkin, spoke about this more vividly than others. For Usyk, this fight is murder. Who did he fight in the heavyweight division? Witherspoon, Chisora. He looked terrible in these fights. He doesn't have a powerful punch. Okay, he moves well, but not for heavyweight. It doesn't work the same way. Here's in the first heavyweight division, he said. Terrible or not terrible is the Usyk in the strings. How high are his chances against Joshua? It will be time to speculate about this somewhere in August before the fight. But for now, the conclusion can be made as follows. This will be the most difficult fight in his career. And at the same time, the biggest, because with all due respect to the belts in cruiserweight, 3 world heavyweight titles are valued much higher at once. Usyk will indeed be a noticeable underdog in the fight, but now it does not seem that he is doomed to defeat. If he goes into the fight with the right attitude and plan, if he is ready to have fun and show everything he can, especially in the movement of his legs and body, then Joshua can look for his shots all 12 rounds and never find it. You can even bet that the fight will be unexpectedly postponed for 3-4 weeks for the Ukrainian team to bring down the preparation, that there will be a rematch clause in the contract in case of Joshua's defeat, that the referee in the ring will be a British citizen. The best part is that the fight against Joshua should bring Usyk as much money and his entire previous career. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel.